Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Property Sue. I do videos on matters related to real estate, and today we are going to be talking about a very interesting topic that gets me very excited, and that topic is land. And the reason as to why it gets me so excited is that you can never go wrong with land, no matter where the land is or when you invest in it, or no matter how big it is, the value of land will always appreciate. So if you are one of those people who is always thinking, what should I give my spouse for their birthday? What should I buy my child as a wedding present? Then land is the best gift anyone can ever give you. So with that in mind, today I'm going to be looking at the 10 factors that you should consider before buying land. Number one is the intended use. Intended use normally dictates the location, because for instance, if you're building a holiday home, the location of your piece of land will be different as opposed to if you're building your everyday home or if you're intending the land for farming. So intended use always dictates location. Number two is proof of ownership. You should always insist on getting a title deed after you have paid for your land, and do not accept certificates. I have had so many cases of people who accept certificates and they are told to hold on to the certificates before the title deeds are out. But I want to tell you, my friend, that is a hoax. The title deed will never be out, and you might end up in court and use so many resources, so much of your time, and eventually you might lose your land because someone with the original title will come and claim it, and in that case the court has no option other than to give the land to the rightful owner. Also, titles are important when you want to use your land as security for a loan, because lending institutions do not accept certificates as security for loans. So always insist on titles. You had it here first. Number three is the terrain of the land. I know nowadays, due to technology, people will tell you that you can use a satellite map to look at the terrain of the land you want to buy, but please insist on going to the site personally. I have had a case where a client bought land which was pure cliff. He could not use the land for anything, and the land was 5 acres. You can imagine 5 acres of land and you can't use the land for anything. So insist on going to the site. Don't be told that if from the land you can see Mount Kenya, from the land you can see Longonot. Don't trust agents. Don't. Make sure you visit the site personally. Number four is something that many people might not take seriously now, but trust me, in future it might come to haunt you. That is wetlands. Make sure you know if the land you're buying lies on a wetland. And a wetland does not necessarily have to be a swamp. Make sure you know if it's a wetland or not. That is why you need to get someone, a professional, to look it up for you. Mostly valuers can do this for you. So you need to check whether the land is a wetland, because there are laws in Kenya governing wetlands, which I will not get into now, but you can go and Google. If most of the time some people will get away with it, but trust me, you don't want something that might come to haunt you 10 years from now. Number five is drainage of the land. Does your land lie in a flood zone? Is it well drained? You should always check on these two. And I recommend the best time to buy land is when it's raining, because when it's raining you get to know if you're being sold a swamp or a place that is prone to floods, because we have seen so many cases of contractors buying land, building houses, selling them to people, and when it rains heavily, then all the houses are flooded, and you wonder why they are flooded. It's because the land was bought at a cheap price because it was on a flood zone. It is advisable you go during the rainy season, or if you won't go during the rainy season, ask around. There you will always find that when you're buying land, the community around will direct you best when it comes to such matters. Another factor is zoning. Zoning is the legal way in which the government allocates use for land. So land could either be commercial, residential, or industrial. So you should check if the land you're buying is zoned, and some places are not. Most places that are not zoned are considered agricultural, but you should always keep in mind that zoning is not permanent. Sometimes after a while, a land might have been residential, and then it converts to commercial, in which case the value of the property will rise. So zoning could be one of the factors that would make a property rise in value. Number 7 is utilities. These include electricity, water from the municipal or somewhere where you can get borehole water, and also sewage lines. These are important to check, and also look at the regulations on putting, if there is no sewage line, the regulations on putting a septic tank in place, if the area in which you're going to buy into allows, or if it doesn't. Always make sure that you check on the utilities. Number 8 is your neighbors. It is very important to know who your neighbors are, because if, for instance, you're putting up a home, you don't want your neighbor to be an industry or a very noisy, or an institution where there will be noise most of the time, which is unavoidable. So check who your neighbor is, and sometimes it's not always easy to know during your first visit if the neighbors you have are good or they are not good. Ask around. Again, I told you the community is always the best resource to use when you're buying land. If you won't ask around, visit the property several times. Nobody will limit the number of times you visit the property, so visit it several times. Check what goes on in the neighborhood, and this will really help you in avoiding future inconveniences. Number 9 is community services such as hospitals, shops, police stations. Always look at how far away they are from your land. Also, this highly depends on what you intend to use the land for. If you are just buying the land to sell it at a profit at a later date, some of these things are not important. But if you're putting up a home, if you're building an institution, community services generally dictate a lot. So depending on what you intend to use the land for, check on community services. Then number 10 is the cost. Check what the cost of the land is. Can you afford land in the area in which you are looking to buy? Because some areas are obviously more expensive than others, and you might find that your budget is not on the higher side. Always put cost in mind when you're looking for land, and those are the 10 factors you need to look at when you're buying land. I've also done another video on steps to follow when you're buying land. I'm going to link it up here, and go watch that. And thank you for watching till the end, and don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. And until next time, it has been me, Property Sue, and bye.
Burning the bridge that keeps us. I'm here and I'm feeling